Microcasting for your city. Talkapolis.
If you play a stringed instrument, you need to know about Nashville Violins. They sell, rent, repair, and restore all stringed instruments. They have the largest selection of violins in the 9-state area, and they have tutors for professionals and kids. Nashville Violins is the place for strings. Thank you for sponsoring the show.
Hi everybody, welcome to Music Business Daily. I am one of your hosts, Greta Gaines, and this is
Shara Rivera.
That's right, welcome. If rainy days and Mondays get you down, don't get down today just because it's raining and a Monday. We've got some fun stuff to talk about today. What are we talking about?
Some great news. Well, the new judges for American Idol have been announced. Nicki Minaj and Keith Urban join Mariah Carey. So I'm really excited about this. I think it's a really cool mix-up. Apparently, Mariah Carey was paid $18 million to judge the show.
It's a good payday. Scroll back up to Nicki Minaj. Is that her natural hair color?
No, I don't think anyone knows her natural hair color.
That's quite an outfit.
Crazy.
I saw a clip online when Katie Couric, her new show, she kind of like let the cat out of the bag to Jennifer Lopez before it was officially announced who was going to be on the show.
Oh, Jennifer Lopez didn't know?
No, she didn't know. This was last week. So yeah, I think Keith Urban is different. I mean, have they had like a hardcore country judge person before?
I think they were probably wanting one since there's been Kelly Pickler and Carrie Underwood, and the country people always do really good.
Come out of the show.
Yeah, so they're thinking they need
He'll
that.
be good, and he was also on the Australian show, The Voice. No, the X Factor. You know, I have trouble keeping this up.
I know, I can't remember.
He was on one of those, yeah. So that'll be good.
As a coach, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Next up, we have a Minnesota woman was ordered to pay $100,000 in a music piracy case.
Yeah, I read this. This is nuts to me. I mean, they somehow proved that she had thousands of illegal downloads through some kind of program I've never heard of.
Yeah, it was originally 1,700 tracks.
That's right. But she said her boyfriend or one of her kids. But this is one of the good things about being so technologically incompetent, like me. Like, there's no worry in my household that I'm going to be illegally downloading thousands of songs because I would never know about the software in the first place. So what do you think about this? I mean, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, well, you know, they've taken it back to court 3 different times. It started in 2007, and it was thrown out because of faulty jury instruction. And then the court kept reducing it to $54,000, and originally, though, they were going to get $1.992 million in damages. And so this final court decision was taken up. The lowest was $54,000, and they finally agreed for $222,000 because.
But she'll never be able to pay that back. I mean, it seems like they're trying to make an example out of her individually, and I get that. But wouldn't you be more inclined to go after the software companies that are allowing you to make thousands and thousands of downloads? I mean, for me, I don't know.
I think they try, but a lot of them are overseas, and so there's different rules that apply to different countries.
Well, that woman, that's going to be rough.
File bankruptcy, yeah.
Yeah.
So I liked this. I can't wait to read this article with Bob Dylan on the cover of Rolling Stone.
Yeah, he's my guy.
Apparently people were getting all up in arms because he didn't quote a couple of writers that he likes to read, and he put them in his songs.
Well, first of all, when do you ever read song lyrics and see cliff notes?
Yeah, I know.
In other words, I think Bob Dylan's argument is, look, I'm bringing attention to these obscure people that you would have never heard of, and I'm referencing them in my work, and I'm bringing a profile to, who's one of the guys? Author Junichi Saga's?
Japanese author, yeah.
Right, or the Civil War poetry of Henry Timrod.
Right.
So the criticism is that, you know, because people dissect every little word that Bob Dylan says, then they're going back and seeing these references. And
they're reading those authors. He's bringing traffic to them.
And so what's Bob Dylan's great quote about the people that he thinks are, I don't know if you can say it.
Well, I'll just go ahead and be brave.
Okay.
He says, wussies and pussies complain about stuff. All those evil motherfuckers can rot in hell.
Whoa.
Classic Bob Dylan.
But what's great is that, you know, Bob doesn't come forward that often to clarify. And I mean, I read his book, and it's phenomenal. And I'm so glad that he's addressing some of this stuff in this lengthy article, because everybody always interprets for Bob Dylan, and it's like they put themselves into his lyrics. And
Right.
I can't think of a more a contemporary figure that's gotten more messianic kind of like devotion than Bob Dylan. I mean, people go through his garbage and they like, you know, they see him like a god.
Right.
And I think what he's saying is, you know, I'm a songwriter, and I'm working within a tradition,
Yeah.
and this is part of the tradition. I'm not plagiarizing anything, but when I songwrite, a lot of stuff is going in, and this is what's coming out. And I think in his defense, what he's saying is, look, I'm drawing attention to art that you would never know about if I hadn't referenced it in my music.
Right. And now you're going to read it because I like it.
Yeah,
Basically.
we got to check that out, because anytime you get to hear from the maestro himself in his own words,
I love
is
this
special.
picture of him on the cover, too. He looks like such a badass.
Yeah, he does. He looks a little bit like Salvador Dali with the mustache. And the whole look, it's a kind of,
Yeah, I like the
it's
cowboy
a kind
hat.
of, yeah, Euro troubadour. He's just the coolest. I got to go out on the road with him and we sat on stage and watched him night after night. The best training in the world.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I thought this was really cool, too. The CMAs gave a school in New York $20,000 worth of musical equipment, a needy school, and Dirk Bentley came and played for them. It's the CMAs Keep the Music Playing
Program.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they go around. So I love anything where you put your money where your mouth is. You know, there's no
Exactly.
better way. Sometimes you give to charities and you take their word for it that's going to end up someplace. But you know, if you go to a school like that and you put the instruments in the classroom, and I know since I was in elementary school, you know, back in New Hampshire, we would get Aerosmith's old equipment. Like we would get Joey
awesome.
Kramer's drum set, literally.
Wow.
And it was a scrappy school, but boy, we had some good
That
drums to
motivated
learn.
you.
And I think maybe one of the reasons I ended up being a musician is I remember the music public school programs so well, and they were so good. And a lot of that, sadly, has been cut. So this
Right.
is just so important,
Trying to
because
make
you
that
never know
happen again.
which little kid sitting there, you know, may have gotten an instrument that day from that CMA music program, and it's life-changing.
It really is. Well, the Grand Ole Opry is celebrating their 87th birthday, October 5th. Rodney Aiken, Steve Warner,
Yeah.
and Kelly Bannon are going to be hosting the show.
Did
So-
you know that the Grand Ole Opry was 87 years old?
No, I thought it was maybe 50.
Yeah, no, 1925 it says it
Dang.
started. So that's unbelievable. That'll be, it says it's an all-star cast. But you were mentioning earlier, you kind of thought maybe some bigger stars might be involved in such a prestigious birthday party. But maybe they're saving those names for the 90th
Right.
or the 100th.
Or, yeah, well, there's more people that haven't been announced on October 6th. So I think it's going to be a big celebration.
What night is that?
October 5th and 6th.
2 nights at the Opry.
That's right.
Okay, cool.
Oh, Jason Aldean's coming. So that'll be
Fabulous.
great.
We'll rock it out.
I thought this was amazing. Tim McGraw has bought a house and a puppy for a needy military family. He
That's awful
surprised
sweet.
them. Yeah.
Did he buy them pee-pee pads with their new house?
That'd be great. It's part of Operation Homefront.
What a wonderful thing. So tell me more about that. So can anybody sign up for Operation Homefront?
Yeah, you have to apply for it, and I guess this guy hurt his leg in Afghanistan, and so now he and his wife are going back to school, but pockets tight, and they won. I don't know how they picked them, but he paid the mortgage and worked with Chase on buying them the house.
Nick, can we see the picture again?
Puppy for the little girl.
I want to see the screen. So Tim gave them the house and the puppy, and all he's taking in return is the little girl.
No.
No, she stays?
Yes.
Okay,
she
with the
stays
house and the
house.
puppy.
Yeah.
Okay. That's pretty cool. I'm into that. Operation Homefront.
Homefront.
Again, putting your money where your mouth is, giving where giving is most needed. Tim's a great guy. Well, that's awesome. Do we have more stuff going on?
Yeah, lastly today, this is from the Tennessean about home recording studios challenge the majors, about how more and more people are making studios in their house. And so it's harder for major studios like Ocean Way and Blackbird to keep up with the business.
So what are they doing to try to lure you? Because, I mean, it's true. I mean, everybody almost and their brother has a home studio in Nashville now.
Yeah, because of the equipment that you can get is
right. So are they
really
doing
good.
anything special to lure you into? I mean, obviously, if you've ever been to Ocean Way or something, I mean, these spaces are pretty incredible.
Right, and the equipment's state of the art.
And I'm sure they have great coffee and donuts and stuff like that. Is there anything else that they're trying to?
Well, they like at Blackbird, they have Sonic Ice and cups for you, and
what is Sonic Ice and cups? You can see that I haven't been into a major studio for a long time.
Well, it just is like a perk, and they.
No, but literally, what's a Sonic cup?
It's just styrofoam cup.
But
the ice, I guess. But the ice is crushed, and it's just.
Sonic has the best ice.
Yeah, Sonic has the best ice?
Sonic has the best
okay, well, if
you
were
were
me,
a coffee person,
if it were me and I'm going to my buddy's backyard studio for $250 for the day and he's got regular ice or no ice versus the $500 or $600 you're going to pay for the day with the spiffy ice.
The spiffy.
I don't know.
Yeah,
It's all about the engineers too, though.
Right, that is a big part of it. But yeah, so that's what's going on.
What's happening here in Nashville? So what they're saying is that these backyard studios are giving the majors a run for their money. We should look into how many major studios in Nashville have closed based on this kind of competitive thing, because I bet.
I know, as of last year, there's still 180 around, but who knows
major
what
ones?
that. It just said 180 studios. It didn't say major.
Okay.
But and it also said in the music business that recording studios pay the largest tax amount or contribute to the largest tax amount because there's so many of them.
Yeah.
But I bet that number was a lot bigger a few years ago.
Yeah. Well, that's very interesting.
That
way
is
to keep
Monday.
Way to keep a case of the Mondays at bay, right here at Talkapolis, watching us, Greta Gaines and Shara, right here at Music Business Daily. We will see you tomorrow.
Thanks for watching. Bye.
Microcasting for your city, Talkapolis.